Hi everyone, so I'm going to teach you how to press your own pigments, and we're going to use something unusual for pressing pigments. I'm going to use Biosilk Silk Therapy. It's for your hair, but you can also use it on your skin, and it works a lot better than pressing with alcohol, which a lot of tutorials or a lot of people. Let me show you the colors I've made so far. This one I just made last night using the Biosilk, and it's, I love how it came out. It's firm, but the color comes out really cleanly. Let me show you. So I'm gonna do that, and look how pigmented it is. Just swatch it on my hand. Okay. These other three colors I pressed using alcohol only, and it holds a little bit, but it's terrible. Let me show you. I'm going to get my eyeshadow brush, and with the pink, no matter how many times it just grabs the color, and you could just press it on. The yellow, green, or blue I use by pressing with alcohol. You can see the pink. It's just normal, but let me show you on the green because it's in the center. When you try to get some with your eyeshadow brush, it flakes up like this, and that means it's not holding very well because of the alcohol. So that's why I switched to using the Biosilk. The ingredients are identical to coastalscents.com's Easy Press Medium, and I was going to buy it until I noticed they had an ingredient list, and then I looked it up and it was the same, almost identical to the Biosilk. Prep your pan with some alcohol, which I've already done. You could finely mist it onto the pan, or you can just swab it in. Okay, and you get your pressed pigment, your loose pigment, and drop in a few drops, maybe like 2 to start, and start mixing it in the pigment. Obviously I didn't use enough because it's still very loose. It's easier to work a little bit at a time than adding more and then trying to eliminate it by using more eyeshadow, so just use a little bit at a time. You don't want the consistency to be like wet clay. You want it to be, let me show you. You want it to be of a consistency where it almost looks dry, and the pigments have, the loose pigments have actually looked like a decrease in size. But when you pull all the pigments to one side, it stays. So this one, I feel like we need a little bit more of the Biosilk. I just added one more drop, and I think that's going to be enough. I'm going to mix it thoroughly into the loose pigment. And when you put this, when you put the Biosilk into the pigments, it changes the texture. It looks kind of crumbly. Okay, let's see. It looks like the pigments easily hold to the side of the container without falling. So it's ready to become pressed. And the great thing is when you start mixing it up again, it kind of turns into powdery, like kind of a chunky powdery formula. We're going to put half of the pigment into the metal tin. Level it out. Okay, and you can use a plastic wrap or a piece of fabric. And this is a lot harder because since my pan is square, I don't have anything square to place over it to press it. As with the MAC palettes or like the Coastal Scent palette, you can use a quarter. So I just have to be careful and use my hands. Press the fabric or plastic over the tin and press very firmly. And it's filled halfway in. Now you want to put the rest of your pigments. And to fill up a palette tin, you might want to use about 1 teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoons of pigment, because once you put the medium into it, it really shrinks in size. And now you want to use your fabric to press again. Make sure you press very firmly because you want the eyeshadow to stay put inside the tin. What's great about using Biosilk is that you can freshly press the pan, drop it, and nothing happens. It doesn't break. You want to let this dry for about 24 hours, and that's pretty much it.